on because I'm single. Now, I know I'm going to be crying when I speak, so I just wanted to let the kids know that when I speak from my heart, tears come out of my eyes. All right? I hope that's okay with you. I've been asked to fly up to Canberra to speak on October 12th at the national rally. And I feel clumsy about it because as a Jew and as an Israeli, it's not my voice that should be amplified right now. It should be Palestinian and First Nation voices, and I'm very, very aware of that. So I don't take it lightly that I've been asked, but my Palestinian friend is saying, Veronica, speak up, speak up, speak up. So that's what I'm doing. And in reflecting on what I want to speak about in Canberra, and really wanting to make the most of the opportunity, I've realized that I want to speak and share the story about a woman in Gaza called Abir. And in order to get the details right, I decided to ask her family members for a bit more information this week. And when I got off the WhatsApp chat with the family, for one, I was bawling my eyes out, but also I realized that I can't wait till October 12th to share Abir's story. I want to share it here today with you, and I hope that it lands deeply. So here's her story. In 1985, I was 10 years old when I moved from Sweden to Jerusalem with my family. In 1985, Abir was 5 years old when she moved from Jericho, a little town close to the Dead Sea, to Bethlehem, a little town outside Jerusalem. Her parents took Abir and her younger sister to an orphanage and dropped them off because they couldn't afford to raise them. Abir and her sister never saw her parents again. They were accepted in the orphanage, they were loved, they were cared for, but it was very, very difficult. When I asked a few days ago what Abir was planning for her future, what was it that she was hoping for, I was told that making plans for the future is something for those of us who are privileged. For those of us who are privileged to live in peace. We can make plans for the future. When you live in a war zone, when you're living as an orphan in a war zone, it's just about day-to-day survival. It's not about making plans for the future. But Abir did have one dream, and that was to become a mother one day. She wanted to have children of her own. In 1991, the Gulf War happened, and there were Scuds flying from Iraq into Israel, Palestine. It was a very, very scary time, and most expats left. And there was a woman who was a bit of a mother to Abir, and she asked a woman called Liz in Jerusalem if she could take over being Abir's sponsor mother. Liz being Liz, said, yes, I will be Abir's mother. Abir stayed in the orphanage, but Liz would go and visit, she would bring presents. Now during this time, Liz was also a mother to me. And in a strange sort of way, I realized that maybe that's why this story has landed so deeply for me, because in a way, me and Abir are sisters. A few years went past. I finished high school. I moved to Israel and moved to Australia to study. Abir grew up. She finished school, and she eventually married a man from Gaza, and he wanted to move there because it was cheaper. Abir had her fifth child, a baby boy, in 2014 as Israel was attacking yet again. He was born into a war zone. From 2014 to 2023, life was very, very tough for Abir. And as you know, in October 2023, all hell broke loose. Abir's brothers and sisters in Bethlehem begged for her to leave, but she couldn't. Only 6 weeks into the genocide, 6 weeks, I get a message from Liz saying, Veronica, please pray for Abir. She's so hungry. Her children are so hungry. They don't have anything to eat. This is 2 years ago, right? People were hungry. hungry back then. Now, I've been a single mom for most of my parenting, and there have been times when it's been hard for me to buy food for my children. I wasn't going to pray for a beer. I put the word out, and I asked for people to send in $5 if they could for a beer. And money started trickling in. The next day, Liz messaged me and she said, actually, Veronica, we're not able to get the money through. Maybe you should stop getting the money because we can't get it transferred over to Gaza. Israel has stopped any money transfers. And I explained that, look, people care. People are finally able to do something. Let's just keep the money going, and we can send the money through when things ease off. In my mind, it was like in a few weeks' time. My hope was that for a beer, it would be a sense of security, a sense of hope for the future, give her some sense that people cared about her, which it did. I got a really lovely message from her. The only good thing that came out of it at the time was that we could charge up her SIM card. So she was able to message her brothers and sisters in Bethlehem and also get news updates. Her brothers and sisters pleaded with her to move south. They said, please, Abir, go to the south of Gaza. There's more food there, it's safer, there's better internet. And one of the last messages they received from Abir was her saying, there's a little boy in our apartment who's on dialysis and he can't leave the apartment. We're not going to leave unless he can leave. 2 weeks later, on December 3rd, I received a message from Liz to say that Abir and her husband and her 5 children had been killed during the night from a missile. I want to read out what Abir's sister read at her memorial service. My sister Abir was always lost in thought, and if you asked her what you're thinking about, she would smile and say, no, I'm just daydreaming. Abir was about 2 years older than me. Everyone used to say, Abir is weak, poor thing. People take her money, people talk over her. She's not like you, strong. Abir always longed for a family of her own. She wanted children, and when her time came, she married and had kids, and that became her whole life. Her life was never the best life, but it was what she wished for, a family. When her husband, who was older than her, retired, he told her, that's it, let's go to Gaza. We'll live with my family. Gaza is cheaper. The pension is enough, it's better. Bethlehem is too expensive, too dry. There's no sea like in Gaza. She never wanted that, but as always, she obeyed. She said, here I sit at home, there I'll sit at home. She even tried to convince him to let her work as a cook in Bethlehem to help with expenses, but he refused and insisted they move. From the very beginning, when they arrived in Gaza, the 2014 war broke out. She was then pregnant with her youngest son, Bara, in her 6th month. She said, the war will end and we'll go back to Bethlehem. But from the immense suffering and fear, she gave birth to her son in Gaza during the war. And so it happened that she, her husband, and their children became trapped in Gaza, the great prison. Everyone who was in Gaza during the war was banned from leaving. Everyone tried to help, even human rights organizations we contacted. But there was no hope. All Gazans were considered terrorists, condemned to prison. We told her, be patient, trust in God. With time, we'll find a way for you to return. If it's about money, we'll try to collect what we can. She lived on that hope for 9 years. Her children grew, went to school, excelled, received certificates of excellence, memorized Quran, even joined a Dubkit dance troupe. Abir knew no one in Gaza. She stayed at home, proud of her cooking, photographing her dishes and posting them on Facebook. She tutored her kids, taught them the Quran, prayer and supplication. When the bombs fell, she would cover their ears so they could sleep. If one of them had a panic attack, she would wash their face patiently, reassure them and say, this war will end like every time. She prayed and said, God will make it right. We'll return to our family in Bethlehem. My sister never denied her children anything she could give. She used to say, my children are my whole life. I want nothing from this world, only to raise them and live modestly. That's all I want. My sister would ask me to visit, and I told her, I'm afraid, sister. Afraid we'll be trapped there with you. We're cowards, not like you. She used to say, you're not a coward. No one is stronger than you. Remember during the 2002 war, during the siege? You were crazy walking out while our world was under shelling. Tanks in the streets. You weren't afraid of the army like I was. You walked in the streets to bring milk and food to our sister and baby in Bet Sahur. And now you say you're afraid? I can't believe it. I told her that was a different life, a different war. We've changed, we've grown up, older. Now we fear. Don't worry, you'll return to Bethlehem and I'll visit you with my children and we'll see you once you're out of Gaza. I haven't seen my sister since 2013. Oh sister, how cruel life is. All our patience, all our pain from distance and separation is nothing compared to what you suffered in Gaza. During every war, our constant worry was news from Abir. Whenever communication returned, she would say, we're fine, pray for us. Once she broke down, crying bitterly. The kids are starving. For 2 days, nothing has entered their stomachs, not even water. On Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, we received a message. Thank God, connection is back. Electricity is charging again, but no internet. Don't worry, we're fine. I found za'atar and flour and made the kids manakish, and we had tea. Thank God, we're having breakfast. God have mercy on you, Abir, my silent, dreaming sister. God have mercy on you, my sister's husband, Bakar Abu Muharram, generous, honorable, principled. My niece, Allah, my look-alike, everyone called her Little Shireen. She wanted to be a doctor. She was top of her class with certificates of excellence. She was only 16. Ayat and Janat, the sweet, mischievous twins, excellent students, memorizers of the Quran, lovers of Dabka, only 14 years old. Allah, 10 years old, so sweet with beautiful wide almond eyes like his mother and excelling at school. Baral, the youngest, the darling, mischievous but funny, excelling with certificates in school and Quran. He was 9. God rest your souls. This soul stole you from us. In the past 2 years, since October 2023, my 2 youngest daughters have finished their VCE. They've completed year 11 and year 12, and they've gone on to university. That's exactly what Abir was hoping for her children, but that was stolen from them. We all feel powerless. We can't do anything. But Jess Walsh actually does have some power, and she has not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 19 times she has voted in support of genocide. Shame! I live a block away from here. I'm 50 years old. Jess Walsh is 54. We have a friend in common. She has been to the monkey temple where I work. She has eaten my food. She's eaten my cheesecake. We are 1 degree of separation apart from each other. I'm 1 degree away from Abir. We are all interwoven. We are all part of this humanity, and somehow a woman who's in my circle has voted against the people suffering in Gaza. I don't apologize for making Jess feel uncomfortable. I don't apologize for making anyone feel uncomfortable. I will keep making people feel uncomfortable. I'm going to keep prodding and provoking. I'm going to do anything I can to get people to wake up from this slumber, to make people wake up from this head in the sand thing we got going on. It boggles my mind that people have still not seen images out of Gaza. I ask that everyone who's here today step up, do more. Just be a pest. Be a pest for Palestine. We all have to do more to get people to pay attention. I want to finish with reading out a message from Abir's niece. I'm truly grateful for your she's writing this to me, which is very humbling. I'm truly grateful for your kindness in carrying the story in your heart. It means so much to me that you want to share about my Aunt Abir and her children at the rallies. In a way, it makes me happy because even though she's no longer with us, her memory will live on and her voice will be heard by people across the world, all the way on the other side of where we are. What you are doing is something I've always wanted to do myself, to share Palestinian stories, to show the world the reality of our suffering, and to give a voice to those who've never had a chance to speak for themselves. By telling her story, you're not just honoring my aunt's life, but also helping carry the voices of so many Palestinians who remain unheard. For that, I'm really thankful to you. And I will end with the saddest words I've ever had to share. Until the very end, Abir prayed that if a missile hits them, they would all die together, because she couldn't bear the thought of losing them all while she lived, or if she died, that they would be left alone. Earlier this week, I saw a 9-year-old boy in Sweden do a speech, and he started it with, "I don't live in Gaza, but Gaza lives in me." And I think we can all say that Gaza has somehow landed in our hearts, and we will never be the same.